What?
100th. 100 of these things. 100 of these things. We only started doing them to fill up space in the channel because I wasn't doing evaluations. I never thought we'd ever do more than a few of them. 100, it doesn't make sense.
I don't know. People seem to like them. I think they like Milo's tail the most.
Well, what's not to like? 100. Thank you all for watching. We hit 10,000 followers last week, which still makes no sense to me, but you know, it is what it is, as the saying goes these days. Sorry, it's in the news. But what was I going to say? In any case, I cannot believe it. So if each one is about an hour.
Uh-oh, he's mathing.
Well,
we're not mathologists.
No, I'm definitely not a mathologist, but it's like, that is a lot of content. We have like 1,400 videos. I don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know how these things happen.
You keep making videos, and then it's like we don't make enough videos. I don't know.
I don't know. I have no idea. What, Milo?
It's gonna knock your... Oh, my butt is gonna knock your soda over.
Your butt is not gonna knock my soda. There, it's up. Okay, happy Friday.
Yay.
Look, it's Milo. That's it? Did you want to say anything? I still don't know how I talked you into this.
I don't know. I'd have to go back. I was so nervous and I hated it. Every moment of it.
I don't know why. Maybe because it was just dumb old me talking all the time.
Yeah, and he wanted people to see what I looked like.
Were they curious about that?
I think so.
Huh. I don't remember. How strange.
I have a bone sticking out of my jaw.
Oh, yeah, last night. She was like, honey, look in my mouth. And I was like, okay.
And the dentist is closed, and it kind of keeps poking out more, and it hurts. That's my story.
And it's a great one. It's a great story. She's a storyteller for the ages. Anyway, hi, Mr. Milo. Well, it's Friday. We gotta get this. Somebody moving?
I don't know.
Can I have the questions? Sorry, moving van pulled into the cul-de-sac.
I can't see past my car.
Oh, well, sorry about that. First is from Rob, and Rob, by the way, that Tony did show up. Thank you very much. I haven't looked at it yet, but I'm looking forward to looking at it. Rob says, favorite pizza topping is simple pineapple. I agree 100%, and in fact, Sabrina sold me on the Deadpool pizza, which is black olives and pineapple. Yep. It's really good.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Bleh. Abel, hi Spencer, what watch would you buy if you had a budget of $500? Congratulations, 10,000 subs.
$500, I have to buy a watch. Right now, if I had to buy a watch, he must be lost.
Oh.
$500, I probably would look for a Seiko 7548 700C. That's the orange JDM quartz diver, and I'd look for one that had where the bezel insert is still gold, because those will fade to silver over time. So I would look for one of those. They have a beautiful color. I just got one in for Ryan in Satellite Beach, and it's going out to him today. And I was looking at it, and I was like, I found it for him on from Japan, and it arrived, and I was like, ooh, this thing is beautiful. And I was like, and I felt this like stab of like Gollum, like precious, like I have to send this thing out. There's got to be some way I can get around it. And I'm like, doesn't matter. I told him, and I was like, I really wanted to keep this, so I have a good eye, so appreciate it. So that's what I'd buy right now.
He just bought me a $50 watch I've wanted since high school, but I'm not telling what it is.
Yeah, you'll see it hopefully next week. Hopefully
it's not amazing.
It's amazing. All watches are amazing. Like this. Look at this watch. This watch came from Ryan, who's getting these two 7548s. Look at this 7123 root beer with a faceted crystal. All watches are amazing. You put a bracelet on this and it'll tell time and everything. Look, it's a Seiko root beer.
It has a disco crystal.
Does have a disco crystal. Now, if it was GMT, it'd be a true root beer. Why doesn't he wear a helmet?
Because he's an idiot.
God. Oh, well, what are you going to do?
You become a housewife, staring out the window.
We never get to leave. We live in a spaceship.
I know. Sam D, I'm with you. I prefer the Aussie Pogue to the regular. Congrats on 10K.
Yeah, I just, there's something about the, if you have the perfect unfaded dial ring you can get in all gold, that's nice. But there's just something about, I'm a big fan of two-tone. So I like having the gold and the black. I think it's nice. Plus it reminds me of bees.
Aitan Benavi, congratulations. Thank you so much for hours and hours of informative and entertaining videos. Hours and hours.
Hours and hours.
These videos used to be like 20 minutes, and then I don't know what happened.
I don't know, we have something like 38,000 hours of content. I could be wrong on that, but it's when I look.
It's ridiculous. It's not true.
I don't know. The last time I looked at the dashboard, I was like, God. You know?
And we make no money off of it.
I don't know. Again, I tell myself that we do, but thank you for the congratulations, that we do this in part to save ourselves for, I don't know, it's some stab at immortality.
Until Sadie's cleaning the kitchen.
What if my great-great-grandfather, Ephraim Dane, made weekly videos?
What if YouTube goes away for some reason?
I worry about that, actually. I really do.
I mean, MySpace went away, sort of.
Well, yeah, sort of, but their data's all still there. Unless you actively go and delete it.
I did. Now
Really?
I'm like, why did I do that?
Why did you do that?
Because of embarrassing stupidity from the past.
It's a gold mine. It's a gold mine.
I probably had pictures on there, and oh well, I did it like 10 years ago.
I don't know. Why don't you write them and see if they do any kind of long-term archiving?
Okay.
Sorry, I've got something in my eye. Anyway, go on.
24780T. Congratulations on 10K subscribers. I think your success is partly due to the watch videos, but also due to Friday Mail Call. Watch enthusiasts are treated to good watch content, so you have that. Then there is Mail Call, where viewers get to see two regular people who are not faking it. I am not faking it.
We're not. No, she's not faking it. Though we're not this cheerful in real life. We're
That's
just
not nice.
Well, I don't know. I mean, what's nice about being in this situation and why this works so well is that she and I, we enjoy each other's company.
We get along.
We get along. So but we rarely are in the position where it's just her and I. It's usually there's a cloud of children and cats and everything else.
There's cats.
So I enjoy this because it's nice, because it's pretty much the only time that I get to just sit down and like talk with her. That's because we're so busy otherwise. But thank you.
Okay, I can do a long one.
Can you?
I can.
Oh.
DMits22. Congratulations on 10K. As
Thank you.
always, very enjoyable. No jeweling video, please. I too use a sights jeweling tool, and punching, reaming, and staking is pretty boring. What are you going to show? How to push a lever down and turn a micrometer? I like that you skip over tedious things and not subject us to that. I don't agree with the triumph over Harley bit, though. I collect many things besides watches, and I have over 50 motorcycles.
Really?
The majority are Harleys and Indians, but I, of course, have a Bonneville.
Oh, he has a Triumph Bonneville.
It's
Really?
750 and a speed triple in there. But if you love the British bikes, BSAs and Nortons, of course, are way better than Triumphs. Nothing like two-footing the kicker on a Commando to get it fired up. Kind of like starting my TR6 with Webers and waiting for 20 minutes to warm up and drive it.
I'm still mad that we didn't buy that TR6 that was on.
That was all
Facebook.
in another language to me.
Really? Mm-hmm. Oh, he's just talking about different motorcycles and how fun it is. And TR6, you remember there was that one, it was like $1,000, but they had no title. And I was like, oh, that's a great car and it's in really nice shape. I'm really thinking about it, and it sold like that.
Almost forgot, Sabrina, you must be from Massachusetts, where you have no freedom except for weed. I'm next door in New Hampshire, where you live free or die. No helmets is the last great freedom. Oh, and state liquor stores with cheap booze and no sales tax. Wow! I don't know what I said to give that idea, but I was born in Massachusetts, but I'm from New York.
So she's kind of got it coming and going. What was I going to say? I love old motorcycles. Actually, my preferred brand for motorcycles actually are the older BMWs, like the 60s and 70s. Like the first BMW I ever owned was an was an R50/5, and it was I loved that bike. It was great. My brother had an R75/5 that I dearly wish that I had not allowed him to sell. He sold it. I think they're really neat. As for Indians, the only Indian story I have, really, when I was living in San Francisco in the 90s, on Dolores Avenue, right where it's coming up, and it runs into Market Street. All through the 90s, there was an Indian motorcycle that had what looked to me like a straight four upside down, but it was chained to a palm tree, and it had been there. It had been there for so long that a bush had grown up around the base of the palm tree and had basically grown all through this Indian. I mean, literally, it was an Indian. It had been sitting there for so long that the tire was rolling off of the rim. And it was, I saw that there for years and years and years, and then one day it vanished. Wonder what happened to it. I'd love to get a Norton Commando. Boy, if we had real money, I'd say, wow, I'd like to buy a motorcycle, but I don't ride motorcycles anymore.
I want to know what I said that made him figure out I'm a Northeasterner.
I don't know. No idea.
I don't know. MCFL1. It's the Casio Duro Spencer. Bill Gates wears one.
Oh, I was talking about, I couldn't come up with the inexpensive Casio analog dive watch that people really love because they're cheap and quite durable. So it's a Casio Duro.
CMB. I can't believe you have done 99 mail calls. Seems less. No, it doesn't.
I don't know. I mean, how we're like locked into this thing. It's never going to stop.
Congrats on the 10K subs. You should get more as not many people do things in your natural style, warts and all. I do to delve into the early high jewels Seikos. Yours must be a 370/40, one on eBay in Japan with the wrong case back. I'm working on an 8306 Sea Lion. In its past, someone must have harvested or lost the springs for the day and date correctors and just used whatever worked. I managed to suss one is also used in a 4006, but the other I can't find anywhere, so we'll have to keep the bodged one, which does the job. Regarding making use of what tools you have, I just converted a vintage unused Rotring 20.25 millimeter technical drawing pen into an oiler, and it works great. It automatically drops the same tiny amount on each dab of the tip. Definitely worth a try.
What kind of reservoir are you using? Do you need a reservoir, or can you just fill the thing up with oil? How does that work? I'm curious how you would have done that. Oh yeah, the 8.3 series they've got those shepherd's crook springs. I don't know. I mean, Seiko got away with that. They started going to integrated springs or springs that were firmed in place. But yeah, those shepherd's crook ones, they go boop, and they're gone. What?
The cat is busy going. Oh my God! We never put in the thing for wrist check. We just jumped right in.
Oops. Okay. Well, wrist check. You're gonna get to go first.
I haven't worn this in a while because I hate setting the date because it's not quick set.
It's not a quick set.
So hooray!
Anyway, you said there's lots of grasshoppers.
There's lots of grasshoppers.
And I, in honor of our 100th mail call, which I can't believe, I'm wearing the only watch I have that has 2 zeros and a 1 in it. My SBDX 001, the OG. These are great watches. This was the real deal. Okay. So that was wrist check. Exciting stuff. I don't know why they didn't come up with quick set for Rolex until a couple of years after that thing was made.
That's why I take it off to wear something else because I feel bad that I'm not wearing other things, and then it's like, I don't know, 2 weeks, and I'm like, oh, I don't feel like going twirl.
Yeah, because you can't even go over midnight and then pull back and rock back and forth across midnight. You have to go around and around and around. Silly. But it's a beautiful watch.
Yes. What were you looking at?
I'm just looking at the wind. The wind's coming up.
Okay. Andrew Warner. Hi guys, congrats on hitting 10K subscribers. I've got a couple of questions for next week's video, one watch related and one Star Trek related. Here it goes. First question, what are the differences in the winding mechanisms between manually wound and automatic watches? Manually wound watches have a more ratchety feel to them and spring back when you release the crown, whereas automatics feel smoother and don't spring back.
The main reason for... What is she doing?
She probably got mad and she's leaving.
Where's she going?
Away?
Let me answer that question. Thank you. Automatics feel clickier. I'm sorry. Manuals feel clicker because when you turn the crown, it turns the stem turns the winding pinion, which turns the crown wheel, which turns the ratchet wheel on top of the mainspring, and the click goes click, 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 click as that thing turns. Click, 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 click. Now, with an automatic, what happens there is you have the entire automatic winding mechanism smoothing all that stuff out. So yeah, you may get clicks and clicks and clicks and clicks, but even if you manually advance that, you're running everything through the automatic winding system, and it acts like a what's the word I'm looking for? It's a very smooth advancement, and it won't let it go back at all. So it's like you're smoothing out all those clicks with all the teeny tiny clicks of all of either the interlocking gears, the reversing wheels, or in the case of a Seiko, the pawl lever, the magic pawl lever, and it's much more finely divided. So it just smooths everything out.
She was checking the mail. Second question, when the lockdown first happened, I did the only reasonable thing I could and got Netflix and watched all 7 series of TNG. As you two are Star Trek fans, I thought I would ask your advice as to what series to watch next. I've already seen TOS some time ago, and I didn't want to start watching another series only to find one of the lead characters had a sausage hidden behind his back.
Talking about Riker.
Oh.
The reason he grew a beard is so he could hide the fact that he had Velveeta chunks stuffed in his cheeks.
You're so terrible! You're so mean. It makes me so mad.
I'm really mad at myself. I'm not yelling at Riker. Though, of course, in the new series, they had to have him making pizza.
So what? Oh, you're awful. I can't even watch TNG because of you.
He should be running laps and drinking tap water.
You're
so should
terrible.
I. Did we answer the gentleman's question?
No, you just got going.
I said on the thing I recommended DS9, which I have to credit her for entirely.
Yeah, people don't really talk about DS9 as much. Like when we had satellite TV, BBC America would play TNG all the time, TOS and Voyager, and they never play DS9 or Enterprise.
People talk a lot about it on the Star Trek subreddits. They talk about DS9 a whole lot. I would stay away from Voyager, but that's very much a personal thing. There's some great episodes of Voyager.
The first couple of seasons are tough.
They are tough. But later, of course, usual like Star Trek, when they get rolling, it's good.
Yeah, but DS9 was good from the beginning.
DS9 was good from the beginning, but there are some episodes in Voyager that are great. Living Witness is a great episode. It's in my opinion, one of the best Star Trek episodes made. It's where the doctor, his emergency medical hologram unit, basically a copy of him is found 700 years in the future.
Oh, right, I remember.
And he helps these people sort of set the past straight. Mm-hmm. That's a really good episode.
But there's an episode in DS9 which is really kind of like you watched it when it came out, or even like in the early 2000s, and you're like, wow, that's crazy. That would never happen.
Talking about basically the early 21st century breakdown of society, where they have these sort of walled ghettos in the cities, and everything is going wrong, and the 1% have everything, and the people, the regular people, are sort of getting to the boiling point. Yes.
Michael Sands, another fun video, and congrats on the 10K milestone. Well done. Spencer, I have a suggestion for you on the jeweling video question that keeps popping up. I'll shoot you a quick email about it for your consideration.
And let me say, his suggestion is a very good one, which is that we have a friend and a colleague, Adrian Selleck. Adrian Selleck is Vintage Time Australia. Vintage Time Australia, he makes the jewels top and bottom. He has them made, and he has a jeweling instruction video. Adrian's a friend of ours. He is one of my I've known him for a long time. He helps He's one of the mods on both the Seiko subreddit and the Japanese watches subreddit. He's active as well. So just Vintage Time Australia, go check him out. He's got videos. That was a good suggestion.
In the meantime, a question for next week's show. What are your thoughts on long-term storage for quartz watches that aren't getting worn regularly? Should the battery be removed? I ask because I've recently picked up 4 7548 divers, and one of them is an absolutely pristine JDM 7000 on an original Z199 bracelet, and I'm just going to put away for safekeeping. Should I leave the battery out of it? Thanks and congratulations.
Yeah, I'd pull the battery.
Because you've gotten things where the battery just like exploded.
Yeah, let me tell you a little story about battery acid. We decided to try to save some money, and so we bought Amazon branded, like Amazon brand AA batteries, because the kids are always burning through the controllers, right, for the game system. Well, these cheap batteries, multiples of them, brand new batteries, leaked. And they not only leaked, they leaked on our main dining room table, which is lovely hand rubbed cherry finish over solid cherry wood, and they literally burned holes right through to the wood, and it looks like somebody left a burning cigarette on the table. So battery acid is no one's friend. It's a time bomb waiting to go off. So yes, if you're going to put those in storage, get those batteries
and
out
don't buy Amazon batteries.
Don't buy
Duracell.
Yeah, literally brand new batteries still in their plastic
3
package.
months old.
Yeah, leaking just like wet with acid. Garbage.
Yes, well, because Amazon now has this new thing where they have their Amazon special, super cool, Amazon only things. And I was like, okay, whatever, I'll just buy the Amazon batteries. So here we are.
No, it looks like I'm a smoker. Because it's right next to where I sit.
We have no ashtrays.
We have no ash. Well, yes, we do, but they're all packed away.
Okay, Doran Mihai. Congratulations, Spencer and Sabrina. Congratulations for your cheerful family and for the positive tone you display and manage to convey electronically.
Well, thank you. We try.
We try. And kids are kids. Big up. Congratulations on reaching 10K. I have a question. Do you think that this Seiko Sport 100 with reference 59325210 has a serviceable mechanism? I came into possession of one with GP bezel, a kind of Seiko Royal Oak, which looks more like a Nautilus AP. Thank you in advance for your answer. Greetings.
Oh, sure, yeah, they're absolutely workable. The 5.9 series, we don't see them too often here. They weren't made terribly long, but they're good. God, Milo.
He keeps poking us.
And he does it with just the tips of his claws out. So he's just getting your attention. Yeah, they're perfectly serviceable. They're very nice quality movements. And absolutely, yeah, you just like anything else. It's not like the modern all plastic chronographs.
You drop things on him. Are you done?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna murder this. How do you pronounce that?
Mercia Negro Rusin, and I apologize if I got that wrong.
At least you tried. Hi folks, obviously congrats on the 10K and thanks for doing your own thing. Like most of the community, and there's a community, don't you know, I've enjoyed the evolution of this channel over the last couple of years.
Maybe we should start our own forum and have these people run it.
No!
We started so many forums.
Yes. I don't know.
The last forum I started was Wrist Sushi, and then I don't go there anymore.
Here's my question. In light of accelerating prices for semi-decent, I mean mostly mid-range, Japanese and even Swiss offerings, where do you see the market for the vintage and not-so-vintage market evolve to, including the highly limited market for repairs for such pieces? COVID-19 has thrown a spanner in the works, so I'm eager to hear your thoughts.
I don't know. It's interesting. You know, there's still... over the years, I've watched certain models of Seiko go up and down. The 7.828s and 3.8s and 4.8s, they're great watches. It is interesting that, though, there's only a few models now that people seem to really talk about, whereas before it was like the whole range. It's like just like one or two, like 7A 787039, 78287049. Those two, they're talked about a lot. But the rest of them seem to have not fallen by the wayside, but they've kind of been left behind in terms of their value. Same thing with Seiko divers. 60, 105, 8110s are like through the roof. And like the earlier, symmetric case 6105 8000s, they don't go as high, and then like 6306s, their value hasn't really shot up, but 6309s have. I don't know. There's a lot of vintage watches out there.
There's this ridiculous curl happening.
Is it ridiculous?
Look at it.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a really interesting question because there's a lot of people trying to make a killing, of course. They're trying to say, oh, this is a vintage watch. Oh, this is rare. Everybody's familiar with that. But
I hate how people do this really rare thing. Like, really rare McDonald's toy. I'm like...
Somebody was selling a really rare Seiko the other day. I was looking at it and I was thinking, I literally don't know how many of those I've owned.
What was it?
I don't know. It was some Seiko later quartz diver, but not something that anybody was really interested in. Sorry, I have cat hair up my nose. I don't know. It's tough. People are going to try to sell things. The big thing is, I guess, is to look at quality, look at the brand itself, if it's got any kind of history, and whether it will hold its value. I don't know. It's a very interesting question, and I wish I could give you an answer that was equal to it. Usual thing is look for unrestored watches and try to get things that are good investments now for less than what they would sell for retail. That's all I can say. That's utterly useless information. What are you doing?
Being a weirdo.
God.
Y2K Tube. Spencer, about demonstrating arbor jewel mod procedure, I vote a resounding no. Teach the child in your family that shows an interest to those valuable secrets. At the dinner table, when you were farting around and not eating dinner.
He just bit my watch strap.
Sadie was like, I have asked him again and again and again to show me how to do watches, and he keeps not doing it.
She hasn't said anything about it recently.
Because she's just waiting. Last year, she was like, please show me, please show me, please show me.
Okay.
You were supposed to fix my Timex.
Okay. I just need to set aside the next weekend when it's raining.
So next year.
Well, no, because I've got so much stuff to do outside. I've got to bring the backyard back from the dead. I have to get that car ready by spring. There's all this stuff that needs doing.
By spring, he means last spring.
Any case, that's very good to know. I want to be able to, I want to be able to get this information to the kids. If they want to learn about it, then I'm all for it.
Anyway, I run a well-known high-end camera repair shop, mainly German Leica?
Leica.
Oh, I did it right. Cameras and lenses. In performing this specialized service, I do have some difficult repair techniques that I consider proprietary in nature. Knowledge that makes me unique and in demand. The fact that I can pull off my specialty makes what I do mysterious to an amateur repair person out there. Well, there's nothing wrong with protecting your valuable, unique skills and knowledge. Most reasonable folks out there know that many large corporations in fact protect their intellectual property, experience, research, and development. Again, save that special knowledge for Sebastian, Willow, or Sadie.
It's good advice. I mean, why not? I mean, right now I'm working on a new method to take 6139 indicator rings, the black and the yellow ones, that have faded, and to return their color. I've actually been able to do it. It has some unintended side effects that are kind of make the rings non-usable, but the theory is sound, and I'm working on.
You need the right tool.
I just need the right tool, and I can understand the parameters in my head. I just don't know what I'm going to do that. You say you work on cameras, especially like high-end German ones. Do you ever, for fun, work on vintage binoculars? I want my roof prisms redone. Hensoldt Wetzlar roof prisms.
I thought you can work on them.
Well, no, I cannot collimate a set of. What, did he fart? I cannot collimate a set of Hensoldt Wetzlar's 10 by 50 roof prisms. Can't be done. Basic collimation on a 6 by 30s, sure. These are Leica. Are they? Yeah, these...
God, he keeps farting.
Does he?
Go away.
I don't know. In any case, I have a lot of old optics. Some of them I don't feel comfortable working on. And it would be super cool if you were capable or willing to take a stab at some of this stuff. I'd love to get those roof prisms nicely redone. Or my 10 by 80s. Those are like it too.
Okay.
Whatever. Why are you farting?
He's an old man.
Cats don't fart.
He's an old man.
God.
Nielsen Gupta. Hi, Sabrina and Spencer. So many congratulations for both 10K subscribers. I really enjoy watching your family interacting, and I love the cats coming into view as I have 4 cats. And questions for Mail Call 100. 1. I think the Aussie Pogue is genuine, and I think Paul from Vintage Seiko and 2 Vintage Seikos has proven that it exists.
Oh, yeah.
Just like your video showing the black and white photo, are there any differences in the movement between a normal Pogue and an Aussie Pogue on the ones you have worked on?
Nope, absolutely not. It's all the same stuff. I'm sorry, go on.
And have 6139 movements changed from 1969 to when they became discontinued?
The only change was in very late 1970. Well, really, the A's were phased out, and and the B's started appearing in March 1971. And the big differences there were that person who's walking across the street not looking at traffic, wearing giant headphones.
You're just like judging people.
I don't judge anyone. The changes are they made the chronograph wheel more robust. They made it.
You just went on a rant about Riker. You don't judge anyone.
Of course not. Riker's not real. They made it so that the hammer sits on an adjustable post with an eccentric, so you can adjust the clearances between the two twin hammer faces, and a couple other little minor things. But no, other than that, many things will interchange, many things won't. But those are the only changes they made.
William Forbes. Hi, massive fan from the UK. Are accepting new refurbishments. Kind regards, William Forbes. By the way, no rush.
Oh, okay. I actually, I've come up with a brainwave. I'm down to 33 jobs now. Getting there. When I do open the books again, I was really worried about how we were going to do things like pick and choose. There's no way I can take all the work that people want to bring in. We literally get new job inquiries several times a day. Every day we get multiple job inquiries. So what I'm going to do when the time comes is we are going to put up, basically you can purchase, almost like we go to the website and you can basically purchase a slot. You have to pre-purchase a slot. There's going to be a limited number of them, and it's basically first come, first serve. And whoever comes in is going to, we'll be able to buy it. It will be one watch per slot, one person per slot. I don't want to have somebody trying to scalp. Like, I had this idea, I was like, oh God, somebody's going to buy all the slots and then try to middleman it and get some extra money and some stuff. So I'm hoping 33 jobs. I'm hoping basically by the holidays, maybe. And then I can have a little break for the holidays. Wouldn't that be nice? Have a break. We haven't had a vacation in 2 years. And then I'll open up the books again.
We went to... Oh my God, my brain just died. Not Grand Junction. In the mountains.
Glenwood Springs.
Yeah, we went there. That was a vacation.
That was a couple of years ago, wasn't it?
No, it was last year.
Was it?
Uh-huh.
Russians everywhere.
Yeah, literal Russians everywhere. Smoking cigarettes in the hotel, which is not allowed, and hanging out in the
giant hot springs pool.
Yes.
That was wild. We were going to go to San Diego this year just in time for coronavirus to erupt.
Yeah. Can you say coronavirus on the YouTube now? I know it was like illegal when it first started.
No idea.
I don't know. Daniel Blair, nice stuff, Spencer. How'd you like the 7549 end links? Were they Bonham? Whatever.
I did get them. They are great. I've looked at them. You did a really nice job manufacturing them. They look really clean and consistent. I haven't tried them yet because I have so much other stuff going on, but yet they're here and it looks like you did a great job. And I'll be interested to see how they do for dropping into the watch and if they need modification, though I'd be shocked if they did.
Tom N. As I suspected, green gunk in the gunkulator. It's like Phineas and Ferb.
It is. Who made up the word gunkulator?
You?
Was it me that made up the word gunkulator?
Yes.
I don't know what that green stuff was. There was another suggestion that perhaps it was chlorine that got in and then gathered on stuff, but I don't think so, because the writing inside the case back was the exact same color as that other stuff. I've never seen anything like it. I don't know what that stuff was, and it's all gone. So it will remain a mystery.
Garrett Jansen pulls up an Aussie Pogue as an example of a bad dial patina. So cheeky, Spencer.
Well, I wouldn't say it's bad dial patina. It is what it is. It's what those gold dials turn into. But yeah, that setup is for an Aussie Pogue, and I want to have a nice one. I'm kind of annoyed that I'm really annoyed. The greatest one I ever found was unrestored, completely original, came from Japan, 6139, 6001 proof. So because it's 6001, it's a non-notch case, and it was really nice, and the dial was beautiful. And I restored that watch, and then, like an idiot, I sold it. And the gentleman who owns it loves it, and he's had it for like 7 or 8 years now, and he won't sell it back.
I know that there are some vintage watch specialists who make their own parts. You've done the Vuitton seals. Do you have actual parts planned?
Not really. I mean, I've toyed with the idea, but I mean, there are certain things like, man, I would love to have the 6306 hacking levers recreated. They're just a single piece of stamped metal with a couple bends in it. If one could do that, it'd be great, because then every 6306, every 6309 could be made into a hacker, which is what you want. But I haven't really thought about it. All these opportunities that I miss because I lack imagination.
Imagination.
I can imagine things. Just like Star Trek Q. I'm an idea man.
Randy Allen, very interesting, and as always, you win in the end. It's a process.
Depends whose end we're talking about. I do my best. It's always a mixed bag. I could always be better, but thank you.
Just curious, are palette stones replaceable, or is the shape specific to the individual model?
No, sure, absolutely, they're replaceable. It's old school stuff. You have all these special watchmaker tools that allow you to indirectly heat the varnish that holds the stones in place, and you can move them around and change their depthing and all this other. There's all kinds of stuff you can do, but that's really I mean, for something like Seiko, they made so many of those things, one can still find them. So it's not necessary to get really that hardcore about it.
I can't tell when you're done half the time. Because you pause and you're like, Jack the Cat. My guess regarding the green mark, Spencer, is the previous watchmaker probably had to put the watch aside, maybe to order parts, and use the green marker as a way to keep track of either what needed to be fixed or what had already been fixed, cleaned. It is pretty common in car manufacturing to mark bolts in areas that have been worked on. I suspect the latest technology, the old marks are no longer used. Nice video as always.
It's entirely possible. There were green marks on both sides of the movement in different places. And that green stuff that I found was the exact same color as the marker. So he marked those deliberately for some reason. I don't know what that reason was. I've never seen that done before. But perhaps it's a system that works for him, or worked for him back in 1998.
What?
When
I wasn't listening.
You weren't?
No.
When the Undertaker threw humanity off the top of...
Humanity? You mean mankind?
Mankind.
Humanity?
In 1998.
Really?
Yeah.
I watched it.
Did you?
Yeah, when I was little, I'd watch wrestling. Little.
Humanity? Mankind?
Mankind. He's super nice.
But he got thrown off the top of Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, I know.
Straight through an announcer's table, apparently.
I know.
Another lost worker man truck. What are they doing?
I don't know.
Okay, anyway.
I don't know where I am.
Neither do I. Are they, is it, God.
Oh, I think it's the connection people.
Is it the connection people? God, I've been waiting and waiting and waiting.
Okay. I don't know who the next one's from.
I've been
There's
wanting
no
it so
name.
much I've been having dreams about it.
Municipal Internet, for those who haven't been keeping track. Okay, who's this from?
Who? Who what?
This big one.
Uh,
Cut off the name.
Respectfully, it's a gentleman. I'm sorry, I cut your name off. You will recognize who you are.
SNS, hi. Congratulations on both the 10K followers and your 100 shows.
Thank you.
We should have done something. I don't know.
Like what?
I don't know.
What do? We don't do anything.
I don't know.
We could have worn hats. We had special shirts made, maybe, if we were thinking about that far ahead. We could have put Milo in a tuxedo. We could have come up with a song and dance number for us and the kids. I could have done a giant supercut clip show of all of our greatest hits.
I hate clip shows.
I don't know, what would I have done? We already had a cake.
God, the cake. The calories in the cake.
Yeah, so anyway, Sadie made this cake for our 10,000 thing, and I was putting it, because we're doing MyFitnessPal, because we're trying to strip off some of the extra, the COVID-15, or whatever you want to call it. And so I had to build that recipe in MyFitnessPal. And a serving size is 1/16 of a cake. So you take a quarter, you cut it in half to an eighth, and you cut those, and there you get a 16th. With frosting, 757 calories.
I thought it was 67.
767 calories. Yes, you're right.
And who eats a 16th of a cake?
I don't know.
No more cake.
There's no justification for it.
No more cakes. Okay. You've earned every bit of these accomplishments. Your efforts are greatly appreciated.
Well, thank you.
you.
We appreciate that.
Could you please help me decipher a few points regarding both my Seiko 6309-7049 as well as my 6105-8119? The 6309-7049 is from September 81. It doesn't have a Suwa or Daini logo on the dial. Why not?
Because right at that summer, in 1981, is when final production was moved out of Japan, away from both the Daini and the Suwa plants, to Hong Kong. And so at that point, it wasn't Daini or Suwa, really, though Suwa still existed. You can find Suwa symbols on like 7A watches all the way into like 1989. And in fact, 1990, the RAF Mark I watches, the 7As, those were produced as late as 1990, and they still have the Suwa symbol on them. But for anything that moved to Hong Kong, that went away.
Okay. The inscription on the case back is circular. I don't know if that means anything in particular. Do the 6309-7049s and 40s have the same case back?
Yeah, pretty much. They ought to.
The diving bezel is faded to a gorgeous shade of blue. Why is that?
The blue inserts, it's my understanding, this is not gospel, okay? I'm just repeating what I've heard, so I don't know that this is true, but I've heard it more than once. When Suwa would be out of a part, or they wouldn't be able to keep up with production, Daini would help them. I mean, we all know there are 6105 dials that have shown up, 6105 casebacks and 62 MAS casebacks for a Suwa watch that says Daini inside the caseback. What I have heard is that the blue inserts are ones that were made by Daini to help Suwa. I have absolutely no idea if that's true. That's simply what I've heard.
The 6105-8119 is from September 76. It has the Suwa logo on the dial. The caseback inscription is straight text. Someone once told me that these three things didn't seem correct, and he never elaborated on his claim.
6105s started with a horseshoe caseback, and then in like the 74 range, 74, 75 range, they went to the straight text. And it wasn't just the 6105s. Almost all Seikos made at that time did the same exact thing. They all went to the straight text. Yes, it's a Suwa, so that's perfectly fine. It's correct to me.
Lastly, I know you like Father Watch stories. Attached are a pic of my papa and I from the late 70s. He passed on in November of 2012. If you look closely, you can see he's wearing a 6139-6015. In the other attached picture, you can see his watch as of August 5th, his 78th birthday. I wear her proudly. I had her service last year, and she has one of your crystals. She's priceless.
That's great. That's wonderful. Well, yeah, I'm a real sucker for father watches, and so it's nice when this stuff gets preserved, and that we have the history on them. It's nice.
Okay. RG, hi SNS, don't underestimate your potential. Well, thank you.
I've made an entire lifetime of underestimating my potential.
There is a whole bunch of 100K plus watch channels that have much less to say than you guys. Are you saying we talk too much? We do.
We do. One of these days, we should just do an entire Friday video with Willow.
She doesn't stop. A question to you both. What's the next Grail watch you are on the hunt for? I already said that he bought me mine.
Is that really a Grail watch, though?
I wanted it since I was like 16.
Wow. My Grail watch, and I haven't had an actual Grail watch for a long time. I now have one. I want a 6215-7000, the first of the 300 meters. They have a countdown bezel. They weren't made for very long. Before the 6159s, they have a really high range, high end, nice movement in them. They're just, I'd like to get my hands on one, but I don't even know what they go for because they're sold so infrequently. So I'd love to get my hands on one. If I had a 6215 and my 6159 on a table in front of me, equal condition, I would take the 6215 in a second.
Milo wants you to pet him. Another one, what are your thoughts on the Jean Richard Terrascope Aeroscope discontinued sister brand of Girard Perregaux? They can be found at a fraction of the MSRP, well under $1,000. Are pretty unique case designs and some high horology Swiss pedigree.
The case design reminds me a lot of some of the Seiko square case designs. Like it reminds me a little bit of like the Seiko Pulsations. Also sort of the squarish case that was used on some of the mid-60s Sea Lions. I don't know, I'd never heard of it before. We looked at pictures of them.
I did?
Yeah, the watches that we looked at on my computer.
I don't remember.
Anyway, they were watches. No, I'll look. I don't know. I've never heard of them. I have to do more research. I only looked at them briefly, but I'll look at them again.
And of course, the lightning quiz.
Ooh.
Watch you regret selling the most.
I want that 6139 6001 Aussie Pogue back.
Favorite band or singer of all time?
What about you?
I go through phases, and like I'll be like, "This is awesome," and then I don't listen to the thing again for years.
In my teen years, okay, I was like 14, and I was listening to AM radio in my room because, of course, I liked staying as far away from my parents as humanly possible. So I was there. I was listening to AM radio, and I was listening to a show called Rock Over London. And Rock Over London said, here's a brand new band from Manchester called The Smiths. And I was like, that's the stupidest band name I've ever heard. But I became a gigantic Smiths fan for years and years and years, well into my late 20s. I listened to the Smiths.
All you do is complain about Morrissey now.
But I haven't listened to the Smiths in decades now at this point, but they still have this sort of monolithic thing in my head. But favorite all time? Gosh, I don't know. It's really hard.
Yeah,
Early Magnetic Fields, like the Get Lost album, Magnetic Fields. I love that one. But we've been listening to a lot of Alt J recently.
Yeah, that was my most recent phase. But like when I was 14, I hated the music that was out, that was popular, which was mostly.
Oops, I did it again.
Well, I can't help it. I liked Britney.
And also Spice Girls.
Yes. They're chronically in my head, but I was in elementary school then. But I didn't like, because it was mostly rap talking about bitches and hoes, which I'm not okay with. And so I mainly listened to Dino Rock when I was in high school. So I listened to like Led Zeppelin and Pink Floyd and stuff. But then I listened to everything but country music. I don't know.
Yeah, and even then you'll listen to old country, yeah, like the modern country.
No, I don't listen to modern country. I'll listen to old country. I don't know. I like things. Like today, when I was putting on my makeup, I was listening to Blink-182 because they have a new song out, and I was like, I love this. But then last week I was listening to Cher.
You know, there's a whole world of music out there.
Really? I had no idea. I don't like Sadie's music though.
I don't even know what she listens to.
She listens to FNAF music.
Ugh, whatever.
And she'll make me listen to it, and I'll be like, okay.
All three All J albums are really, really good to my thinking. There's a ton of depth there. Like she told me this, and I was like, you're out of your mind. She said Spencer, they do a cover of House of the Rising Sun. And I'm like, why would I want to listen to House of the Rising Sun? Never mind a cover of it. It sounds like an utterly different song that only has some of the lyrics in common. It's an amazing, to me, it's amazing.
Okay. Panerai?
It's those big square watches. One time a guy was going to trade me one, and you looked at it and you were like, "Arr," you didn't like it at all.
Well, then that's my opinion. I don't know what it is.
Panerai, or however you pronounce it, versus?
Yay or nay?
They don't do it for me. There's something about them that just seems sterile and kind of weird. I just, and also that bizarre crown guardy thing, it doesn't do it for me, sorry.
Hawaii or Cancun?
Oh, Hawaii. I wouldn't want to go to Cancun. I like being alive.
I knew you were going to say that.
They're having all kinds of problems. I'd go to Hawaii. I've never been to Hawaii. I'd love to go. I have been to Mexico. I will go to Hawaii.
Okay. ETA or Miyota? Miyota?
ETA. Miyota is the other, like Seiko makes and sells a ton of movements to put in other watches. Mm-hmm. Miyota does the same thing, and their stuff is very good quality. It's just, I don't know, maybe I'm kind of a snob. Oh no, oh no.
He loves being parts of the video.
Yes, he does.
He knows if I'm down here for too long that we're going to do a video.
It's true. So I would say ETA, but I have nothing against Miyota. Miyota, they make the last Miyota that we got in here, movement, it had beautiful, perfect numbers right out of the box. It was great.
Okay.
That was in that Stoa that I got, that older Stoa, that we donated for a Christmas present to that kid. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Why is the mail coming in?
Because it's here. Oh, it's dude.
Is it dude?
Yeah, so we should go.
Oh, we should go. Hey, man, thank you so much for watching 100 of these darn things. We're starting over. Next week, 101.
Hopefully I'll have a new watch.
Well, I hope everybody gets a new watch between now and next week. Go out and buy yourselves a watch. You all deserve it.
Yeah.
Okay, bye, folks.
Bye.